We're live. There you go.
Yeah, we're jumping. We should be live. Come on in, folks.
Coffee. Good morning.
I'm jumping over to my Facebook. I need to see how long we've been live here.
Seconds.
All right. Hopefully so. Yeah, we'd have gotten a notice from Facebook because of what we were just talking about. They just slammed us. Anyway, come on in. Come on in, folks. I got a sharing. It's a StreamYard. Yeah, okay. Fine. So how do I get rid of that?
We got a special guest today. Putin's coming in to give us his opinions on Jack Kirby. Seems to be the popular thing at the moment.
I can do an awesome Zorak imitation. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Space Ghost is here.
That show was both horrible and good at the same time.
Yeah, do you know what? I loved it.
I hated that show with a passion for years till I actually sat down and watched it with a sense of humor.
The writing in it was very good.
It's like, how dare you abuse Space Ghost like this?
It was, yeah.
It
was the best of 90s humor. That was.
Skip Edwards says, hello, friends. Hi, Skip. Hi, hello. Skip Edwards. Hey, Leroy. Leroy's in the house. Good to see you, buddy.
Hello, Leroy.
Sorry, my voice is going to be a little scratchy today. I've been under the weather. Hopefully crawling out. You can help support ICN by sending stars. You're over on an Indie Comics Network channel and can send us stars. Send us some stars and help support the Indie Comics Network, which is growing greatly. We just added a couple of, I believe we added a couple of new shows this week. So we want to welcome those people aboard to the Indie Comics Network. Both, I think, are very good additions to this programming. Can't wait for you to see it.
Woohoo. New shows.
New shows. Yep.
New shows.
We are looking at SLVER STAR, the Graphite edition, today on Comics by Night. We're going to run the opening and then we'll get stuff underway while I hack along. Here we go.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Come on in, everybody. Ooh, there's a big one.
There you go. There's a big one.
Unchanging behalf if. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer. Oh, yeah, great, buddy. Yeah. All right.
See you later.
It's just another bot.
Do we have a message from our sponsor?
Sorry. Yes, we do. But I might wait until the end of the program.
No, go now.
To run that one.
Arrow.
I do have this one.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Arrow Comics. Buy more Arrow Comics. arrowcomics.store.
Yeah, do it. Buy more Arrow Comics.
One more Arrow Comics. I have another one. It's not Arrow, though.
Oh.
It's our friend Dennis. I think I'll wait until the end. Just show you that. It's funny.
Okay.
It's the stuff that you see while you're, half alive. Watching TV, flat on your back, sick. So,
okay.
SLVER STAR.
Just a quick one for Dave, because he's just turned up. Is he sent me the latest Perfect 10, which is absolutely brilliant. He's making proper comics. Okay, that's genuine, not to be confused with
Oh,
proper
I've-
comics.
I
But
gotta
look,
get
this
those.
is great stuff. Absolutely great
Yeah.
stuff. He's making real comics, real stuff, and he was very nice and asked me to be involved with a roster of artists who he's got some brilliant artists, and he got some good colors on it. I did a piece for his
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
artbook, and the colors came out lovely, Dave. Well done. It's excellent. So
Morning,
really,
Dave.
really pleased with that. Lovely package. Thank you very much. Go buy Perfect 10. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to buy those for a long time.
Good
I got to
stuff.
get in on that. Yeah. Been looking for some good superhero stuff to read.
How many issues is it?
It's on issue 4, I think.
Right.
So that's the other thing is continuity. He's making a story. It's good. It's good stuff. It is exciting. It's fun. It's like comics used to be, you know, like we all say about the Bronze Age. It's good, solid, fun comics. Okay.
Right.
Modern twist on the artwork, really nicely done. He's got a great artist, lots of energy in the art. And the books are coming out, you know, on time, and you've got something to follow. I mean, he's on issue 4. And it's one of the few things that I've actually bought every issue of, you know. So
Right.
I'll be getting issue 5 as well. It's brilliant.
Good. I'll check it out.
Magic it.
Definitely check it out. Like I say, it's modern comics. It's not a Bronze Age comic. It's not doing what we're doing. Okay, but it's the best as far as I'm concerned of what modern comics are like, and it's got a lot of energy in it, and it's a great story. So yeah, buy it.
Wow, I
got
don't even know.
digital tier for it because they didn't want to pay for shipping and stuff. Didn't have the
Yeah.
budget for it.
Unfortunately, he's in Europe, so yeah, the budget for on you know, all of us have been screwed over postage. This book that we're on at the moment, Russ owes Dave some money, it seems, from Leroy. Yeah, Brett does the checks in the post. The book that we're on, the Shadow Kingdom currently, that's going to have to be produced in America and posted in America for American clients, you know, for consumers, because that's the cheapest way of doing it. So we're going to have to spread that across. So I'm going to have to, hopefully, touch wood, there'll be some people from Europe and the UK that want the book as well, and I'll be doing the print and distribution for that over here. So we've got like a 2-center way of doing that. So I think that's the only way of making that work. We're using RJ, aren't we, for that?
We're still talking about that.
We're still talking about that. So however that works, basically, but it's to get the price down as much as possible so people can get their books.
Well, by the time the book is out, Arrow might have a couple of distribution deals in place.
Other avenues. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. But effectively,
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Effectively, if I've got to do that over here, then I'll do my end, and the US.
Oh yeah.
Have
We'll get it.
Distribution point.
We will get it done over here one way or the other. Absolutely.
Cool.
I've been trying to figure out how to block this guy, and I haven't figured it out yet.
Just ignore him. No, it's on Twitch. It's probably on mine. It's probably coming in from mine. Oh no, I'm not on Twitch. Not today. Mine's on.
Yeah,
it's on Twitch. It should have been
for whatever
on,
reason.
Twitter.
I just can't get to it. So
no, don't worry. Forget
we
it.
won't post it. We'll just ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore it.
We got 4 people on Rumble checking out the show.
Excellent. Hello,
Welcome.
Rumble.
If you're listening on Rumble, or the chat won't show up on the show, but I'll.
Yeah, please do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We welcome all kinds of comments. Just don't try to sell us anything.
That's our job. We've got to sell you things.
Our job. Unless you have a comic, then hell, we'll help you out as much as we can.
Russ trying to block me. I would never block you, Skip, ever.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I'm editor-in-chief of Arrow Comics. Just sent some print files to the printer yesterday since I was feeling better. So there'll be more Arrow Comics. You can find my stuff over at arrowcomics.store. And also joining me this morning is Glenn. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I've been reading comics for 60 odd years now, and I produce my own. You can find that on funmycomic.com. You can also go to Barnes and Noble and places like that, and New Haven Press, and get my book about Jack Kirby. And I also produce Comics Limited, which is a magazine about comics, and you can find that on Amazon.
I got the latest issue.
What do you get? Is it okay?
Oh, yeah, it looks great. It's fantastic. Also joining us this morning is Russ. Russ, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. Worked on stuff like Batman, worked with Warner Brothers, Marvel, DC, lots of Doctor Who. My own stuff, Only Death Can Save Us. And lately I've been working very closely with Randy and Arrow Comics on The Shadow Kingdom, which will be out for crowdfunding on Fund My Comic in March. So there you go. Check out, if you want to find out anything about it, go to my website, russleach.com, and sign up for the email list. And you can find out all my other connections there as well.
Also joining us this morning is Whiskey. Whiskey, introduce yourself, please. Or not.
Yeah, I'm the lead for Bayonet Ricochet. I'm the creative director or whatever. We make 3D models, action figures. We have a tabletop game in development and a comic book also in development. You can check me out on X there at the bottom left, right there. Send me a message if you ever need anything made, and I'll get you hooked up.
All right. What is that? No, that's my Facebook page. How you like that? We are live. Come on in, folks. We are looking at SLVER STAR, the Graphite edition by the great Jack Kirby. This was printed by someone who prints their logo incredibly small.
small press limited.
Tomorrow's Publishing.
This is specifically for people who are not old.
How do you read that? I
don't know.
It's that big. Oh my goodness. It should be 3 times larger so everybody can read that. Anyway, I love Tomorrow's because they love Kirby. So, and they print the great Kirby. What do they call that? It's not the Kirby Treasury. They call it something. Sorry,
Jack Kirby Collector.
Jack Kirby Collector, yeah. All sorts of great material. And this is a great little collection that has the entire SLVER STAR series in it, even though most of it didn't see print. But they were able to get a hold of the lettered pencil work from the Kirby estate and print the book.
Oh, look at that.
It's a complete visual novel. In pencil. They say in pencil form, but some of this is inked. SLVER STAR. There's the great Jack Kirby and Steve Sherman. Introduction. There's the pencils. They're a cover. That's the pencils for the cover for the book here that they used.
I always thought this series was better than Captain Victory.
Yeah.
I think it's only lasted 6 issues, doesn't it?
It didn't last very long. That's for sure. I don't think they printed the entire...
Sorry, that cover. It's amazing how technically it's very static. It's just 2 figures and some strike lines. And yet it's still buzzing.
Yeah.
It's still got energy in it. Just because of his style.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, here we go.
kind of a
That's
Dark
Darkseid's brother, isn't it?
what?
It's Darkseid's brother, Darius Drum.
Oh,
Looks
there
like
you are.
Darius Drum. Wasn't he on X Factor?
he died, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So we've got a graphite, complete graphite thing. We've not seen any yet. We've got lettering inking by Mike Royer.
Yeah.
That's lovely pencils though on the left there.
Yeah, fantastic, isn't it?
I mean, it's, I keep jumping in between how far I should push my pencils.
I think part of that was, I'm not sure about this, but I think part of that, the full pencils like that, was because Kirby was fed up of his artwork being changed somewhat.
Yeah.
Because I do remember reading somewhere that he told Mike Royer, just ink what's there, don't sort of do Joe Sinnott on it and embellish it. I think he was just. I just think he wanted totally his own representation of his work.
Yeah.
But Mike Roy does a fantastic job, it must be said.
Yeah, he does.
And I've enjoyed second of the inkers with everybody else except Joe Simon, Joe Sinnott, who's number one. That's just me. Everybody else is second.
Yeah.
Modern day, if you could knock out pencils like that, there's no reason for ink at all.
Yeah.
Well, no, exactly. Yeah, it's difficult to suggest why you would ink over the top or something like that.
Yeah.
Especially if your colorist is good.
Which would be a little rare. So
if there's one thing Kirby can do, it's explosions, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously seen that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something. Looking at the latest Conan books, the colors on that from Titan, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I think the colors in that aren't bad, and I think if you're going to have a soft touch for the colors, you can work over someone's pencils. But I tend to find that, and Whiskey put a good example of this up a while ago, is that if you've got really nice inks that are clear and defined in like this, it's almost like you want flat colors in it, or at least not very uncomplicated colors, so that you can let the inks shine through.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And
that's something that we tried to do on Shadow Kingdom is just have a kind of a retro coloring like the old Conan magazines, Conan comics rather, the monthlies, and give it that kind of clean look so that you can let the inks shine through. And if you've got to have color because people are, the consumer base isn't as eager for black and white comics anymore, then do it in a way where the inks still get shown.
I think a great example of good colouring and good inking is on Cam Kennedy's Light and Darkness War, because he hand painted it. Because he's a painter as well.
Yeah.
If you look at that artwork, and he's drawn and inked it, but he's painted it as well. And
I think hand painting is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
For me, it comes across. I mean, I would look at the colours of Mike Mignola and over Hellboy and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's just there's nothing complicated in that. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And yet it's completely different to what Cam Kennedy would do, which is a full-on painted thing. So it's like I could quite happily sit there and read an Alex Ross book. Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't necessarily want color filters and all kinds of grads and effects and stuff from going on this kind of work. I just want flat colors on this.
Yeah.
I would be curious because we've had opportunity to sit on panels with Gary Martin before on his opinion, because his opinion before on the one panel that I was on a show with him was that there currently aren't that many colorists that can do a decent job at all. So I would like to ask him, and if anybody manages in our circle of contacts or whoever gets a chance to, if anybody's listening to this, ask him what would make a good colorist. You know, what I would like to see what his opinion on the subject is. Like, would he go for more like what Russ was talking about and I was talking about earlier? In retrospect, a flat color that just kind of just does the job just enough to make the ink shine through, or would you go with a painting theme, great like gradients, or hand brushed or computer digitized, or however you would do it? So I'd like to know, what does the inking master say?
I mean, that was a great example that you showed, actually, Whiskey, because it was a remitter piece, wasn't it? It was Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they had the two.
Yeah, they had the two either side, and you could see that the one that wasn't flat was just, I don't know, it just made it a bit more confusing. It was difficult to work out what was going on. So
I think I sent you that via message. You could bring it up if you took a second.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Some great sequence there of him lifting the tank.
There.
Get back over to the chat here.
The bottom panel on the left, that's a really gaping mouth.
Yeah. Oh, where do I leave off here? Yeah, Leroy, that's too bad. I have the fun of indie is directly dealing with the creator. This is the king. Half the fun, yeah. Yep. Russ trying to block me, Skip says. Russ, could I interest you in a timeshare? A timeshare in Michigan? The king asks. Don't take a timeshare in Michigan. Randy sounds under the weather. Randy is under the weather. A little bit of influenza A. Went and got tested yesterday. So no COVID. Sure, Leroy, I accept all major credit cards. Skip. I'm still tired. After taking OCY, Aki, after the surgery on Monday. Oh, Oxy.
Oh, you have surgery? Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry, King.
Hope you're okay.
I'm going to nap. I'll catch the rest on replay. All right, King. Always happy to have you here whenever you're here. Take it easy, Skip and Dave. Speedy recovery, Leroy. I'll catch you on the next time, buddy. Yes, and then Skip says, I really don't buy color comics anymore. Been getting Bande Dessiné and artisan editions more than anything anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
There you Skip.
I guess there's a market for both.
Mm-hmm. I think, I mean, the problem we've come up against is we've just seen examples of where people have been doing some great black and white work and just haven't found any traction.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with the color. At the final hurdle, we had decided to go with the color. We will want to bring out a black and white version, an artisan version, without doubt. But we're thinking about maybe doing multiple books so we can put it all together as one big black and white option, and that'll sort of, I think that'll be better for the price point as well.
It makes me wonder, because I've encountered the people through miniatures and stuff like that, where I can present an extremely detailed piece, something with like lots of intricate details, clearly more advanced than something that's just what they call kit bashing, like something sliced up digitally, made up from different models and stuff. And there are people that can't tell the difference. They can't. It just baffles them that it's like, oh, this one takes like 5 minutes, this one takes however like several a week to make, whatever. And to them there's no difference. They don't see the difference. They can't comprehend the difference. Visually, it just doesn't make any sense to them. And I've encountered the same thing with drawing as well. like you saw it in the movie Black Sails, or the TV show Black Sails, where in one scene they're on an island and they're discussing this work of art, two works of art, and one's this appraiser on the pirate island. He's saying this is a work of art by this artist. This is a garbage replica or whatever. And then the pirate's just like, if you forgive me, he says tits, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
To the layman,
Yeah.
when we're talking about colors and inks and stuff like that, maybe they can't necessarily see the image without the colors. And I find that a lot of people that aren't necessarily interested in art or artist editions tend to be more juvenile in nature. Just they're younger. So
I think you've got that right. It's like a general public. It comes. It's there's also an element of there's an element of some art is better than other art objectively, and yet it doesn't seem to make a difference if you put the right logo on it or if you put in the right intellectual property. It'll sell anyway, no matter if there is something better than that. And I think it's a similar thing with color. Is like you say, maybe they just can't see it because they're just not attuned to it. At the end of the day, this is pulp material. It's for people to enjoy and have fun with. I mean, I was at a convention. I think it was John Higgins that was there, and he was talking to me about how nervous he was doing live art on the show floor. And they were in the bar, and his girlfriend was there, and we were chit chatting, talking about how silly it is that we do this work, and yet we're very nervous when it comes to doing it live and all the rest of it. And she says, you guys, comic book artists don't understand. Artists in general don't understand, but comic book art can be very immediate. Okay. And she said, you don't understand. She said, it's cake. It's like people love cake. Okay. And it doesn't matter whether it's a Victoria sandwich or whether it's a chocolate cake or whatever it might be. Everybody loves cake. Okay. And what you do is cake. There's lots of different cakes and people think it's magic. They just want it. They just want it. And you might look at it and go, oh, that's a bad drawing, or I don't like this. But other people who don't do this all the time, who can't do it, see that it's just fabulous stuff. And they just think they get excited about it. So that's a good thing for all of us. But the downside is that often the average person who's getting excited about the cake can't tell you which is the cordon bleu cake and which is just the average cake, because they all taste like cake.
Yeah. It still doesn't allay your fears, though, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, not in any way, shape, or form. It's still a gibbering wreck most of the time. And you go through the work, you go through any work that you've just done and go, oh, that's not my greatest work. I don't like that. And then 6 months later, you'll look at it and go, oh, that wasn't that bad, actually. And then 6 months after that, you'll just like disown it.
You've heard of Bob Monkhouse, Russ, obviously.
Yeah.
But when he used to do his stand-up, if you as an aside to this Kirby stuff before we get into it fully, if you buy his book, it's really enlightening, because what he does, it's how he has a chapter on how to deal with hecklers. And he said, what you've got to remember is that there's only one heckler in a room of 1,000 people, and everybody else is your best fan.
Right.
And that's what you should hold on to.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. It's when you are at conventions, it's amazing the nice things that happen, to be honest.
Yeah.
And people are so pleasant, and when they do come up and talk to you, 9 times out of 10, if people are coming up to talk to you about your work, it's usually complimentary.
Yeah, most people want you to succeed, but you always get the nod. I do.
You always get the knob.
Anyway, what's this?
Look at that page on the left there.
It doesn't stop coming up with unusual things, Kirby, does it? I mean, look, who would expect a girl with a guitar singing in one of his
I know.
one of his books?
Bizarre.
Ties back to the first page.
Yeah.
They're saying, sorry, small earthquake. It's still all right.
Skip is so insightful.
Was there a popular singer at the time or something that was like a young girl playing music?
No, not really.
It wasn't that German girl from the Eurovision Song Contest, was it? A little love and a little peace.
I don't
Don't remember that.
When was this done?
Was it 82, maybe? 81,
Oh, it's close.
82? Yeah.
It's close. It's around there.
Yeah, looking for a copyright date.
She sung it in German as well.
Well, this was printed in 2006. That's not when the original ones came out. I think you're right, Glenn.
Yeah.
It's got that feel. When were the Eternals done?
Mid-70s.
Yeah. It's got
70,
that
77, something like that.
that page on the left has got that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
You know
I
what we were
think
saying
it's
before
a
about
little
reproduction?
clear. Go ahead.
Sorry?
We were talking earlier about reproducing from pencils. It's amazing to me that Jack would spend time doing that background with that girl, which is probably ended up all black or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Just seems odd.
I think I did some pencils the other day, and I had the background going into dark.
Right.
And of course the thing is you put a cross in for the black.
Yeah.
And I did actually fill some of it in so that I could see what it would look like. So I got an inclination about how the dark would be, and then the rest of it I could just put a cross into because I was inking it anyway.
Yeah. Having said that, I would probably do that because I think I did those X's once, and I think I missed one.
Yeah. And,
So it gets printed with an X on it.
yeah, that's
So
right.
it
Yeah.
scared me. Like we were saying earlier, it scared me to death, so I don't do it anymore. It's cheating. It's an easy way out. Take an easy way out.
Take an easy way out.
Get your
But,
pencil sharpened and get it on.
But it's lovely. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is quite graphic. Those bottom 3 panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering this is probably Kirby's last published work, he's on fire again, isn't he?
This is Kirby being Kirby. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like that top panel with the 3 guys with a hand over his face,
Yeah.
over his mouth. That
Yeah.
is so Kirby. I mean, it sort of reeks of him. Even down to the fact that the background is just really kind of geometric and blocky.
And I always say this, and I'll say it again. Look at that beautiful lettering.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Royer. No, is that Royer?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I like the
It is, yeah.
appropriate amount of space around the text before you get to the balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's nice space inside the bubbles.
Yeah.
And by
Well, a
hand,
lot-
too, it looks like.
Yeah. A lot of people miss that because, like you say, they jam it in. They jam it. They don't. That's why, again, I'll say it's best doing it freehand than using an ellipse, because an ellipse is obviously set to a measurement or a curve, and it doesn't fit.
Yeah. The books the Only Death Can Save Us books, I actually lettered in Photoshop.
Right.
And I did the bubbles I did on a layer with their own border.
Yeah.
And I created an appropriately roughly sized oval, and then I distorted it.
Yes.
So that they weren't all ovals, they worked around the text.
Yeah.
And actually that came out quite nice. I mean, it wasn't a standard way of doing lettering. It was just the way that I did it for those 2 books. But it worked really well.
Yeah. And another way of doing it, a good way, I've not done this myself, but I've noticed this 40 years ago. If you look at Watchmen, Gibbons doesn't do ellipses. He does little. He obviously draws it in pencil when he does it. When he inks it, these short lines.
Yeah,
it's really effective. Really effective. Well, these pages are beautiful, aren't they?
they are.
Yeah,
they're fabulous. A long time since I read this. It's great. He just loves his grid, doesn't he, Jack? Because it's not about that; it's about the storytelling. Yeah.
See the lines drawn here. Yeah.
Yeah. He's obviously used blank pages for this, hasn't he? And drawn rather than the pre-printed.
Yeah.
Well, I use blank pages. The pre-printed ones are expensive.
Yeah, I use artboard, so I draw it on the board.
Yeah, well, I pencil digitally, so I have my own templates anyway.
Right.
And then the template just gets printed out, obviously with a blue line.
Yeah.
Which means I've got everything I need. I think I end up drawing a little bit larger actually because it's on A3, and I go right to the edges.
Yeah.
I can just about see my trim marks at the edge of the A3 sheet.
Great expression.
Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? I mean, like I said, this must be his last published work, and it's just right on it. It's very wordy, though, isn't it, for Kirby?
Yeah, it is. A lot of exposition here. Info dump.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like what Kirby does is when he has the letterer, usually Mike Royer, put a word in inverted commas, because you don't say the inverted commas, do you? It's like when you're doing lettering, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody says 14,000, you have to write 14,000 because nobody says the number. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't like the way he puts it in inverted commas, because you don't say that.
I think what it is you just can't see him holding his fingers up.
Well, maybe, but if you look on the bottom left panel, it's got 40 ton. It says 4. It's got 40. Well, you don't say that. You say 40.
Yeah, but you read it.
And there's room to put it.
Yeah.
You read it though. You read it as 40.
Yeah, but he's not. He's saying it.
Yeah.
I know he's saying about the speech marks. I find that a bit weird.
Yeah.
Just put them in bold.
Yeah.
I've got that thing from Whiskey. If you just want to quickly share the screen.
Some of the bubble work here seems a little distracting.
Yeah, it's like
weird.
It's like something's been taken out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially that one at the top.
There you go. So, perfect example of colours.
Yeah, the best one to me would be the one on the right.
Yeah, I like the one on the right,
which is more comic booky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Comic booky.
Yep.
Yeah. So the one thing that is quite cool is this ball here, the bomb, where he's sort of like there's a little bit of blur in the background, which changes the foreground.
Yeah.
Which is in and of itself as an illustration is better presented than this one. Okay. However, the whole point of comics is that everything is pin sharp.
Yep.
Everything
in focus.
there is no field of vision, as it were.
Depth of field.
I just think the lighting is just a little bit overbearing. I really like the one on the right.
Yeah.
So there you go. We're just old men.
For me, it's a big hassle with digital coloring. It's like any tool; it's very easy to be abused.
Yeah,
where they try to go for the extra shade or the fancy effect when they don't really need it.
Do you know what I think's happened with those word balloons that are big, that are too big for what's there?
Yeah,
I think that because it's not being inked, that would have been tidied up.
Yeah.
And Jack's drawn that, and then he's written. You've seen the art where he writes the art. He writes the on the board, doesn't he? He writes the script on the board where it appears. And then when you see the original pencils, I know these are original pencils, but when you see previous ones, you can see his hand lettering on it, his handwriting on it, and then Mike Royer's lettered it and tightened the lettering up. And I just don't think he's tightened up the balloons on this. So in other words, I'm probably totally wrong, but in other words, if you look at the bottom panel where there's sort of a line, seems to be like a line missing on the left there, the left one over I think Mike would tighten the drawing up as well.
Right.
But I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong.
No, I bet you're right. You're right on 100%. can see here we're a lot tighter.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. Look at that.
Doesn't Kirby draw big well?
Mm.
You know, look at the size of that guy.
The weight and the yeah.
And I can't say it. The lovely thing that Mike's done there on that top picture where the guy's lying down is, like you said about the weight, he's put that really heavy line on top, hasn't he, and pushed him down.
Yeah.
Really superb. Great ink at Mike Royer. Oh, look at that.
Bosh.
You can feel that.
That big one needs a big scrunch on it. That's what hiding half the artwork, you know. Scrunch.
Just get in the way. Yeah, just get in the way.
Wow. You creep. Hey. Brilliant.
Yeah, you feel it. You feel that panel.
Do you know what Kirby does as well with his villains? Even though they're insane, I suppose, because they want world domination and all that kind of thing, they're very calm and cool and collected, aren't they? Like those guys in Berlin really were. They knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't raving lunatics headbutting the wall.
No.
They were calm and collected, and which is scary, and that's what he does. He doesn't do. They go on a bit of a rant occasionally, but they're quite measured in what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Darius Drum. Oof, look at that. Look at that. Wow.
His face is freaking me out there on the right, though.
It's very flat, isn't it?
Yeah, his eyes are really wide apart. It's got a fish thing going on.
Yeah.
Look deep into my eyes. Yeah.
Has that guy got his hand in his pocket?
If he's got a hand.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's not actually a scientist. He's a flasher.
Yeah.
Oh,
You kids want to buy a watch?
Yeah, you see him.
Going to see some puppies.
Balloon already drawn in.
Yeah.
The border. Yeah.
That spread has got Steranko vibe.
Yeah. Look at that chair.
That's a big chair, isn't it? You could sleep on that.
It's a hell of a
That's
thing.
just gorgeous.
But yeah, I know what you mean by Steranko.
You know? Well, obviously Steranko
Got it from
borrowed
Jack.
from Jack. He got it from Jack, obviously, as we saw in his the way that he grew over time from the book that we saw last year. Or was it the year before? God, we've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got that vibe to it. And do you know what I can see? You know, Minola looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that prisoner, the aborted a prisoner that he did. He worked on.
Yeah. Yep. Very much so.
Look at that. Cheating on the perspective and everything. It's great.
Yeah. It's just great.
Yeah, it'll work here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And like you were saying before, it doesn't need any colour on it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But if it did, it would just be simple colour.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't paint that. Well, you could, but you'd be wasting your time, I think. It's too heavy on the blacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't think it would look good. Yeah.
But there was I can't remember the guy's name, but there was some guy that was drawing like Kirby sort of about 15 years ago.
Scioli.
Maybe 20
Tom.
years ago. Yeah, he
Tom
was doing some
Scioli.
stuff.
Yeah.
Doing some stuff. And his work was very Kirby-esque. Which is quite
Working
nice.
at Image, doing a property I think he called Opus 8.
Yeah. And I think there was some heavy colouring on that, and it just didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bit of that. I met him at a show once. Got a sketch from him.
Yeah, the Devil Flyer. Yes, Bronze Age color. That's the way of doing it.
Yeah.
Look at that. That how gorgeous is that old fella's face?
Yeah.
Just, and once again, look how simple it is, especially that one on the right, the panel 5.
Yeah, where he's
It's just
drinking.
a
I was
few.
just looking at
It's just
that.
a few lines.
Yeah, and they're all there, aren't they? It's all you need.
Everything's there. All you need. Yeah. In fact, it pretty much everywhere in this, it's got that. That's what I was saying about it. It's like when we talk about Jim Lee now being the best Jim Lee that Jim Lee could ever be. It's like it's you don't want to say it's a caricature, because it isn't, because it's beautiful work, but it's so definitively Jim Lee, and I think that's what Jim Lee's strength is, actually, is that he is so definitively that you can always mark him out, which I think is the mark of a brilliant artist. And it's the same with Jack. He's being the best Jack Kirby he can be here. This is like pinnacle stuff. He may have drawn better in the past on different things, but the style, the essence is just, it's all down on the page here.
Look at that monster.
That guy, the guy in the bottom right in the last panel looks like what's she called out? A Tan and Isle out with Thor.
Yeah. My previous statement is for everything on this spread apart from that bottom right hand panel.
Yeah.
I think he just rushed that one out because he wanted to get to the next page.
Yeah.
Now I want a car with an interior like that.
With the steering wheel that isn't round.
Yeah. Wibbly wobbly. Really, look at that thick. That's a thick car.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the bumper.
Yeah. Ooh.
Sad.
Eternal
Deviant right there.
Yeah.
God's name, what?
No matter what death looks like, each man knows that his life is ending. God's name, what?
Yeah.
Car is a bit strange.
It is a bit strange.
You're not sure if it's coming or going, or going or coming.
It's really out of proportion here, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's bizarrely lovely to look at.
Looks like it's got a reinforced front end here.
Yeah, definitely not referenced. Look at that.
Look at Drum on the bottom there. He's standing like Darkseid, isn't he, with his hands behind his back? That's how Darkseid always stands.
Well, it's difficult not to see Darkseid there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that horrible face in his hand. Ooh.
Yeah. As Jack said to me in person, it's all variations on a theme, and I think this is. I think we're seeing that with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, lovely.
Russ, speaking of, you said Dark Seed. I asked Jack Kirby about that.
Oh yeah,
because I used to say Dark Seed,
right?
And I asked him which it was, and he said, "Well, it was Dark Side." He said, "But it works both ways." But I thought it was Dark Seed.
It depends whether you're using the English language or not.
Probably depends on where the ocean is as well.
Or where you're using the English language. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Two societies split by the English language.
Iron Man gauntlets here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you suppose both those characters, the one that looks like Dark Side there, is a representation of Stalin? metaphorically or something like that.
It's probably Kirby's representation of evil, pure evil.
Could be.
Wasn't Stalin's down like that?
Yeah, because it went from Hitler to Stalin, didn't it? I mean, it was like Hitler was the face of everything we despised, and then 10 years later it was Stalin, wasn't it?
Saying a concept of variations in a theme just kind of like made me think about it.
There was this film on last night. Well, I didn't. I watched about 2 minutes of it. I flicked all the way through it really quickly. It was a really old film. It was something to do with the Red Planet or the Red Mars, and I was flicking through it thinking this isn't a science fiction film. And what it was this guy that was claimed he was getting messages from Mars, and the whole thing was a fit up by the Russians to ruin our society. I don't know how that worked because I didn't watch the whole film. I just flicked through it. And then you got the guy at the end going, yes, it was all me. And it was like, what? We got messages from Mars and that meant that our society fell apart. What? So I didn't even bother going back to check the story out.
It was a metaphor for TikTok.
Yes. Yes. Very probably, yeah.
Look deep into my eyes. Yeah.
Oh, he's drinking he's got an ice solly there. How nice is that?
Yeah.
Yum yum. He really looks like he's enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. This guy looks like a cross between Darkseid and Metron, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought Metron was evil anyway.
I like the way he does the hair flicking out on the fringe, on the hairline.
A lovely face, top right, two panels there. The faces, top right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the faces in there. They kind of remind me a little bit of Buscema.
Yeah.
Because what they're both doing is they're doing it with simple lines.
Yeah.
They're not trying to shade it in. They're getting the bits that are required. And Buscema used to do that beautifully.
Yeah. He used to do that, especially on his women, didn't he? When he draws a woman, the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, and there's no line there, is there?
No, it's just two dots for a nose.
It's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking at his work on that, it freaks me out because I'm trying to produce, wherever possible, beautiful women. It's like, but they have noses.
Yeah.
Baby. Looks like Alex Nino to me.
All babies look like that. They all look like that.
Alex Nino.
It's like Don Rickles.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
Something I've thought about over the years, when we speak about John Buscema and women. John Buscema draws beautiful women, and John Romita draws pretty women. Not that pretty women aren't beautiful, but do you understand what I mean?
And there is a difference, yeah. I mean, but John Buscema's women were luscious, weren't they?
Yeah, they were sort of 35, weren't they? And John
were they
Romita
based on a couple of particular models or particular actresses?
I'm not sure.
You were talking about noses, and it reminded me of a quote by Alex Toth, where he says, "I spent the first half of my career learning what to put into my work, and the second half learning what to leave out."
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's I'm still working out what to put in and what not to put in.
Look at that exaggeration in that face.
Yeah.
Little Reed Richards right there, it looks like.
That guy with the expression in his face, look at his neck. He's really neck really tight and straining.
Yeah.
Like he's shouting.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah. I really wonder. Oh, hope that some if it's this thing still exists. That Rose Kirby told me that Jack had written a book called The Horde, and it was something like 300 pages or something. But he wouldn't publish it because it was too awful. So yes, he didn't go into it. But I'm just I reckon there must have been a lot of stuff in there from the war, you know. Because it was about the way mankind is going or something. And I just wonder if that still exists, or, you know, got to be somewhere, I suppose.
He wrote it, or he had drawn up a whole 300-page?
No, it was a novel. He'd written it.
Okay.
But he hadn't finished it because it was too apocalyptic, even for him, and he was writing it, so God knows what he's put in it.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to read if it exists. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore. I don't know.
He does those close-in struggle panels really well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The one on the left, the first panel on the left-hand page.
Yeah, where they're all grabbing them, and
yeah,
he does that a lot in Dingbats and the Boy Commandos, where they're fighting like street fighting. He does that kind of thing really well. This is great, isn't it? Just I'm going to go and read it again now. I've not read it for a long time.
I love that angle. Dynamics on that is incredible. It just balances off of all this detail. It's beautiful.
I'm just wondering, you know, like I said, I think this is his last published work, but it's got real vibes of 2000 AD, and he did that in about, 1976 or something, 77.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of vibe, and I wonder if he just pulled it out the drawer. He'd already done it at that time. And he just pulled it out the drawer when Pacific came along, and he published this and Captain Victory.
Maybe.
You know, maybe they rang him up and said, Jack, you know, blah, blah, blah. You keep the artwork, you keep the copyright. Have you got anything? And he said, yeah. So he either pulled it out. So he either pulled it out the drawer or did it overnight.
Yeah. I'll be back to you in the morning with 64 pages.
That's right. Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
There's some power stancing going on in there, isn't there? God.
This is the sort of vibe of this is reminding me of the John Byrne stuff we looked at, the X-Men thing that he continues to do. It's like a last hurrah type of thing, and it's just amazing, isn't it? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just been let off the leash.
Yeah, that John Byrne stuff is amazing.
Labor of love. That's what it is.
Yeah, you did right. There probably no time constraints, no deadlines.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Well, I think he earned that, didn't he? If that's the case.
Been ignoring the chat. Sorry about that. Devil Flyer is screaming in the chat.
What's he saying?
No, I don't think he's got. I don't think his caps lock works. It's just
Your caps locks work. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the way he talks. That's his thing. The thing is it's instantly the Devil Flyer is in the house.
Yeah.
It's here.
Hello, HR.
HR.
Taste is so relative to this. An outsider can like any comic art, but I doubt any of your favorite artists are the same as mine. Point being, Frank quietly is not the best flavor of cake.
Skip. I love you, Skip.
Well, if you don't tell us who your favourite artists are, we'll never know.
Yeah. He's right, though.
He is, yeah.
No, I wiped out my. I had a card to post that's got Nancy on it saying, I want a piece of cake. I was going to post it, but I've removed it.
I love cake.
Everything is It's interesting to look at. Yeah. Says, what is this now? Devil Flyer. Who is Kirby?
Yeah.
Hey,
I think that's
panel and
sarcasm.
chat. I think so. Hail Dave. Hail Skip. Hail everybody. Hail Leo. Or Leroy. Kirby was that powerful. Thick figures. Maybe from the propaganda war. Time posters. Maybe. Fight with a purpose. Bronze Age color. Hey, Russ. I think anymore it's a color choice. Hey, Devil Flyer, how's the campaign going? Sorry, I'm in out of the chat.
Is it
I'm at
in
work.
and out of the
Couldn't skip.
chat? Yeah.
I've heard of the Horde. Script. Galactic Force.
Wow, look at that. That's a typical Kirby pose on the right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming at you like that. In the Human Torch a few times like that. And Thor, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a long arm there.
Look at that
Was
woman.
it Buzz Off, Jinker?
Buzz off, Junior.
Was it Junior?
Don't you dare try to rescue me. Oh, okay.
Buzz Off,
was dead.
Junior.
She was dead when I got there, officer.
Oh, here you go. Skip has told us what his favourite artists are, and they are indeed fabulous.
What are they?
Travis Chure.
Cherished. Travis Cherished, is it? He was big.
Cherished.
He started off as a little bit of a Jim Lee clone, but found his own feet and ended up doing some absolutely fabulous stuff.
Roger Abanitz.
I've never heard of him, I have to say.
Oh, good. I hadn't heard of him either.
Mm-hmm.
But Wrightson and Frazetta their own stories. So, yeah.
Didn't want to speak up. Yeah. Yeah, Wrightson, though. Who doesn't like Wrightson and Frazetta?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
How can you not? That's just brilliant. You know, that's almost like a smaller panel blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's quite thick lines on that.
Wow.
That's great. That's cracking.
That reminds me of Will Smith in Robot when he gets...
Yeah.
Or when he doesn't get that kid out.
And he takes the guy out, yeah.
Wow. Didn't lose any of his energy, did he?
No, but look at all that detail.
Yeah. Kaboom. You're alive.
She's still not happy.
Well, you know.
Checking out her makeup.
Yeah.
And look at the way he's got such a concerned look on his face.
Yeah.
Just from the position of the eyes here. Just beautifully done.
Concern for all sea bass everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That is a golden-cheeked warbler.
It's actually a golden cheek warbler. A lot of ticks there. Tick, 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 tick.
Touch my chin. Touch it. Touch my
Shit,
chin.
piano with a sound effect. This reminds me more of the Italian, one of those Bonelli books than a regular comic. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, we'll have to look at some of those. The Dylan Dog albums that they kick out over, and it's like an entire 120 pages of story. That's one big long story.
Right.
All in black and white, all done in almost a digest volume size book. It's too bad that format never caught on here. Dark Horse reprinted a few issues of that, and a couple of their titles, and couldn't get it to succeed here in the States. So there's some just beautiful black and white work, beautiful black and white sequential artwork. Dylan, you familiar with Dylan Dog at all?
No.
All right, we will look at some of that. Some great stylized stuff.
You know, you mentioned the digest size. I've got some Spider-Man and Fantastic Four digest side that are reprints, and I would just think when you were saying that, I was just thinking about them, and it shows you how good the artwork is because you can still read it in it. It's just a reprint from FF.
Oh yeah,
62.
absolutely.
I've got a Fantastic Four digest, and it's pocketbook, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
You can still read it.
Well, look at the Titan publication that was printed over there. For many years, that had 2 pages on a page, and it was printed lengthwise.
Yeah. I've got a few of those.
All of that stuff. All that stuff was real readable.
Oh, that was most of that was a lot of that was Spider-Man Remitter.
Yeah,
and again wonderful artwork, completely readable as you reduce it down.
Oh, it was the whole Marvel library from the 60s and early 70s.
Right. Okay. I only remember the Spider-Man stuff really. I think there was some Avengers stuff in it as well. Yeah.
And Hulk as well. I remember.
I did miss that.
Give me just a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
I just got an email from Argos. It's like a shop, and I get special offers. And it just said to me, it was talking about Valentine's Day. Why I'd want to buy something from Argos? Like I buy a toaster for Valentine's Day. That'll get me lots of love and kisses. Wouldn't it?
Get the wife in your fridge.
It says, "Love now, pay later," and that makes it sound like parenting, really.
Sounds like
love now, pay for the rest of your life.
Well, you used to do work for Argos, didn't you?
I used to do the Argos brochures. I used to sections of them because they were massive at one point. Yeah. They were big, sort of 1,000-page tomes, and I used to do sections. I used to art direct sections of it. We had like a creative director who sort of oversaw the whole thing, and then we were called senior layout artists, but we're effectively art directors because we art directed the photo shoots and all the rest of it.
Right.
And so I'd get toys. Women's gifts, men's gifts.
Me and Power Mind Dave, we used to work for this place, and we used to produce an 800-page catalogue twice a year. But we used to turn it around in 3 months.
Yeah.
800 pages from design to photography to illustrations, whatever. And we used to turn it around in 3 months, which is pretty good.
Stupid turnaround times. Yeah, it's especially since you didn't have computers then either.
Oh no, this was with computers.
Oh, that was with computers. Okay,
yeah.
Because we used to turn around so in that time, because there'd be a brochure every year, 1,000-page, 1,500-page brochure, whatever, and then also they'd be doing these 22, 24-page or whatever it is, 24-page flyers.
Yeah,
because they'd have the sales on and stuff like that, and you'd be doing those. So once you'd finished all those sections, you'd be doing that kind of stuff. And then I did the same kind of thing for Dixon's and Curry's, PC World, and then I got the higher class stuff, and I got some stuff for Sony, for Hornby, and Harrods and people like that. The mail order stuff, and then I ended up going off to the design arm of the company, and I ended up doing code. That's when I got into code, and first online Sony European product library. There you go.
Excellent.
you could go online and get all the products in one place. So I didn't write the database for it, but I was close in on the database side, and then I wrote the front end for it. So that was back in the Wild West of the internet. That was.
Yeah.
That was before 2000. That was before the bubble burst. Here you go.
Yeah.
I couldn't find my Titan digest that I had, but
Oh, you've got a digest.
Yeah.
Ah.
One of their where they took those, those double pages that they had, and they folded it again and saddle stitched it. I did find this though.
Wow.
This is a Avengers issue that they had printed. I don't know. I don't even know what they sold it for. Let me see if there's a price on it.
It's probably in
I don't think there's a price on
cereal box or something.
Looks like it, but take a look at that. That's how big that is compared to the size of the book that we're currently looking at, which is about comic book size. You can open this up. This is in black and white, and it's incredibly readable. This has got the first 3 issues of Avengers in it in black and white. The early Kirby material. Look at how small that is, though. Still readable. That's comics to me. Plus, here's the Dylan Dog volume that Dark Horse did, and that's got all of the Dylan Dog issues had Magnolia covers on it, and that's the size comparison. But it's Italian, Benelli, and the interiors are all in black and white, and they're just super beautifully done. Very stylized looking work.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
They would give an artist a script and then just let them go. And there'd be 100, 120 or so pages of just, real stylistic looking stuff. Dylan Dog is a private investigator, a supernatural investigator. And everybody that they used had their own individual style.
Oh, look at it.
It looks like it looks like a kind of a Modesty Blaze type.
Yeah,
strip,
it does. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Modesty
that
Blaze
style,
kind of thing.
Romero,
Look at that. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful work, and people don't really know it.
No, but Dark Horse printed 6 issues of each one of these. There's a Dylan Dog, Nathan Never. There was a science fiction one. There was an adventure one. Dylan Dog's a supernatural investigator. They did a movie of Dylan Dog here in the States. The guy who played Superman in the one-off movie. He was on Legends as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
He played Superman. He played Dylan Dog.
Is that a Manola cover?
Yeah, all of the Dylan Dogs have Manola covers on it.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
But they're great books. I mean, real stylistic looking stuff.
I've got a Titans here.
Let me blow you up here.
There you go.
Mike is
there's a Titans, and they used to be on the side.
Yeah,
but they're still really clear.
Yeah,
incredibly readable.
That's effectively the size of a magazine, isn't it? But it's just printed the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
clear in real life, not quite on your screen.
So, it's clear in real life. And then again with really like flat colors.
Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic, aren't they?
And that's just this big.
Yeah, that's the same size as the ones I've got, but they're in black and white.
Yeah, awesome stuff though. Really cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think the Western audience is so spoiled by color because of those old Sunday funny pages.
Yeah,
they're always printed in color, and so now having something in black and white, even if it's really stylistic, has a hard sell. But Cerebus sold really well. ElfQuest sold real well when it was out.
But that was back in the days when comics were selling really well.
That's true too.
It's like it's the same old, isn't it? That the bigger that market, then the larger the niches within the market are.
Yeah.
So you have more people. You have a bigger percentage of people appreciating black and white work.
Was Cerebus never
hungry
in
for?
Color?
Say what?
Was Cerebus never in color?
No, Cerebus has never been in color.
No special editions or anything like that.
Not that I'm aware of. No,
Right.
it was always in black and white. But Dave Sims went out and found himself somebody to draw very architectural influence background.
Was he called Gerard or something?
Yeah, Gerard. And
yeah, I saw those two at a convention.
Didn't need color, you know.
Yeah,
really didn't. But the thing with the Benelli books, they have a Western character that's really popular called Tex. And one of Joe Kubert's last works was he did a Benelli book of Tex.
Wow.
That's just beautiful. Dark Horse ended up reprinting it, and they reprinted it about this size. And it's just gorgeous. We'll take a look at that somewhere up the line. So that's one of those books that the plot on it is very spaghetti Western and very simplistic, but the artwork is all Joe Kubert. It's beautiful.
I'm after Joe Kubert stuff now. I'm looking for reprints because I feel like although I liked his work, I never truly appreciated it enough.
Yeah.
And just seeing more and more of it and more of the man, I'm like, this is so good. So
Dark Horse.
I'm on a hunt for Joe Kubert stuff now.
Yeah, you saw that. I have a Tarzan book that's got all of the Kubert Tarzans in it. You should dig that up.
You should put that in a box and send it to me. That's what you should do.
Oh, should I?
Yeah.
No, that was one of those books where I'm at a show at a convention on my knees digging through this pile of oddball trade paperbacks. Like I keep saying at the end of every show, you need to go through there and look through this stuff because you never know what you're going to find.
Unfortunately, we just don't have shows like that over here. We just don't.
Here's a whole omnibus thick, like 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick of Kubert Tarzan. It's like holy crap.
I'll send it to me and I'll send it on.
Well, if I run across, if I run across another one anywhere, I will let you know.
Yeah, because I'd pay for that. Yeah,
I'm sure you would.
But when Russ has paid for it, send it via me. Oh, there's a few pages missing. Oh, look, half the book's gone.
Just nick it, mate. Don't do that to me.
Yeah. I was just, that's one of those books that we need to look through.
I'd be interested to know if that Silver Star Graphite edition sold. Oh, look at that.
That's every Kubert.
Oh, he's going to make me cry now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it was $20.
Ah, shut up.
You're 200 now, aren't it?
It's, I think it's 52. No, it's 29. Yeah, here. It's 29 US cover price.
Right. So that's what, 25 quid.
Oh, bad, actually, you can. Oh, Kindle edition. Here we go. 60 quid.
Not the same.
And that's for a Kindle edition.
And that's volume 1. No, this is the hardcover. The Kindle edition is 15 quid.
Oof, right.
Which again, I know it's Joe Kubert and it's Tarzan, but still 15 quid for a digital copy is outrageous.
Yeah.
Tarzan by Joe Kubert, Kindle edition. Oh, there's a paperback.
Oh, there's the textbook.
Volume 1, hardcover, $28.99.
You can see that.
It's got Bellamy vibes, that, hasn't it?
Oh, God, there's a hardcover in black and white. Oh,
and how much is
that?
£111.
Oh. That's an artisan edition.
It's Joe Kubert, Tarzan of the Apes artist edition.
What size is it?
Oh, it's got to be beautiful. It's got to be the same size as the Walt Simonson book we looked at.
Yeah, maybe. Verified. A truly beautiful package of Joe Kubert's Tarzan, as always, perfect imagery. The only reason it hasn't got 5 stars is I love the Enemy Ace book more. Well, that's not a reason not to give it 5 stars. These people are fools.
Not only that, but there's an Enemy Ace book also. Holy crap.
It doesn't actually give me measurements. That's weird, isn't it?
It's got to be, if it's
got to be a big one, though. Yeah.
It's the size of the originals there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, back to Kirby craziness.
Yeah,
Lots of
back to
lines.
that. Just
Look at
I
that.
can't look at this anymore.
Yeah, sorry
Oh
to
wow, there's some detail in there.
go off on a tangent there.
This guy, Silver Stars, he's like a machine man, isn't he? Type of character. You know, the machine man that Kirby did in the 70s.
Yeah.
I think he was doing this at the same time. I'm convinced of it. But it is wonderful.
The only machine man I have is a graphic novel by Wrightson.
Right.
I think there might be some Iron Man in there as well. It might be
I've got the Kirby set of Machine Man, and I've also got the graphic novel of the Barry Windsor Smith one,
right?
Which is really and Trimpy, which is really nice. Now that drawing there with the guy pitching the ball, I'm sure I've seen Ben Grimm doing that.
Yeah. Look at the hyper extension of everything as well.
Yeah.
Look at the color marks though on the field, green, beige.
Yeah. Blimey.
Yeah.
This is why you don't leave things on your pages like X's.
Yeah.
Silver pants.
Hunter, hold that swing. Don't hit the ball.
Wow.
Boom.
Crack.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Dead. Don't hit the ball.
Devastation.
Oh, look at that. Norma.
I'm resisting saying something there with Norma. We got that. Permit me, my dear. Don't bother.
That look of disgust.
Yeah.
She's really not nice.
Darius Drum.
Special guest appearance by Conan.
Yeah, yeah. Not a perfect example of where an artist wouldn't be a good fit.
It looks like those two fists are going to hit him.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of covers that Kirby did for Conan.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, here in the middle is Professor Horton, going all the way back to Captain America 1.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, got that. Wow. Just throws on a couple of random horses, on the carousel.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Didn't that see he's holding the carousel up? That there was a Thor story years ago, wasn't there? Where was it the circus something, and Thor they hypnotized him or something. And
Circus of Crime.
Yeah, and the ringmaster.
Yeah.
And didn't they have Thor doing that?
Probably. Yep.
I think they hypnotized him.
Simple stories. It wasn't about saving the universe every bloody time, was it?
Look deep into my eyes.
Yeah, this is just good fun. Crowd scenes.
Yeah.
Look at that tight panels here. You don't see Kirby doing 11 panels on a page very often.
No.
Especially during this era. And then boom, look at that.
Whiz.
Just gorgeous.
That looks
Crazy
like New God 7, that Glory Boat ending. I've just thought. I just remembered this won't be his last published work. Last published work, I think, was
Satan 6.
Hunger Dogs in 1984, wasn't it?
Didn't he do Satan 6 after that for Tops? For an issue or two?
Yes, he did. You're right. See,
Yeah.
I told you, I don't know anything about the man. Nothing at all. I lied. It wasn't him saying to me, "Who are you?" It was me saying, "Who are you?" to him. The good, the bad, and the wonderful.
Break. There's Eternal, a Celestial right there.
I'm going to say, yeah. Or a century.
Yeah, Sentry.
Look at that. Look at where he's just casually burning his hand with his hand. You know what I mean? He's not giving a quick zap. And the curve on those buildings is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Silver Star.
So sad. Look at that pain.
Big Maasai, Goliath of the Ghetto. With his Galactus shorts on and Dark Side boots. Oh, look at that. No, it didn't need ink in that cover, did it?
No.
Some kind of horse racing accident.
Sorry, I've been ignoring the chat again. Fave artists, yeah, we went through that. It's European. Look it up. Book. Look up the book Jazz Menard. Very Wrightson influenced, but a more modern brush style. That Dylan Dog book looks very similar to Jazz Menard. I'll be buying the afterwork. Thanks. Yep. Great Magnola. Anyway, with the Benelli books, they've been coming out for decades over there in albums. Just some beautiful stylistic work. Panoramic comic format. Cerebus and Spawn 10. Yeah. Was even in black and white, if I recall. I think you're right. At least Cerebus was. He was always a layer of Zipatone. Gilbert is fast brilliance. Yes, it is. HR. Wow.
This edition would have been good as one of those large format books, wouldn't it?
Very much so. An artisan edition.
Yeah. I said before, I just wonder how it sold, this particular comic.
I don't know. I understand it's pretty rare.
Was it a limited edition or was, you know?
I don't think it was limited. I don't think they printed very many of them to order. I don't even remember where or when I ran across it.
I saw it in a comic shop in New York, but I didn't buy it. I should have got it.
I'll be honest, I never knew it existed till today.
Right. I've got the color, the Pacific version.
It's 9-panel grid here. Yeah, I've got a couple of the Pacific issues, I think. But when I saw this, it was a while there. I was picking up anything that was bound, that was Kirby. Yeah. I've got his, what's his name? American book. I can't remember. I have his Boys Ranch book, too, that we need to look at. Nice little hardcover version of that. It's Kid Gang in a Western ranch.
Yeah.
Just some great, great stuff.
Wow. Sturdy girl.
Yeah.
It's cool.
She's very dense from being hit by a shovel too many times, just compacted right down to size.
Yeah. Little bug.
That bug.
It's a very scary concept, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, silence.
I'm just looking at the artwork. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry there.
So,
A little bit of hacking.
heckity heck.
Wasn't there a Marvel character like similar in design to the bug called Technovore?
I'm sure there was.
Vor. Never heard of
Yeah,
it.
It's like a character from New Gods here.
Yeah, like in the black.
It's a sentient computer virus, I think.
All right.
Man.
It's weird that bottom left-hand panel. When you look at that panel compared to that one we picked out of the scientist with the beard and moustache, or whatever,
Yeah,
and how good that panel was, now not very good that panel is.
that's right. And it's lacking a bit of text as well with those bubbles again.
Yeah, a bit weird that panel was. So many things to get wrong in that panel, and then you look across to the panels on the right-hand page, and it's wow.
Technovore first appears in Iron Man number 294, July 1993. It's created by Len Kaminsky and Kevin Hopgood.
To say that was when Kevin Hopgood was on the title. Yeah, another British name.
Yeah, Kev Hopgood. Yeah,
he seems like a nice fellow. I spoke to him a few times. Quite helpful.
Right.
Very nice chap.
I think he's got I've got an interview with him in Crikey. I think I'm not sure,
Oh, right.
or an article by him. I'll dig it out. I'll send it to you. If I find it.
I did a War Machine picture for Draw the Marvel Way and popped it up on Twitter, and he said, "Yep, that's it, nailed it." I'm like, "Oh, right, okay, fair enough."
Great.
If Kev says that, then I'm happy.
Yeah. Do you think, just before you turn over, those panels where we just said they're not the bottom left two, do you think they've been added? Because
I think they've been rushed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As if there was something else there, or he's had to do it again. Because look at the blacks on the top half of the page and the right hand page, and then there's nothing there.
It's just, they're just weirdly out of place, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Looks the same to me.
Okay.
I think they look weirdly out of place no matter what, because just the quality takes a dive.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the spread. Just massive dive.
The pencil, the thickness of the blacks on these pencils, the spread remind me of that what's it called? Where it's in the street, that short story he did for that magazine, Street Call or something.
Well, the very early one.
The one from the 80s. Have you seen that?
Oh no, I've not seen that one. No.
Street is, I think it's only about 10 pages long. It was in a magazine. Was it Argosy magazine or something?
Huh.
And not your Argosy, Ross. Not in that one.
Oh, I was about to say, that's weird.
Yeah. Street Code. The Street Code. Have you seen that?
No.
I think I've got one or both of the magazines he tried to do back in the 80s. The Tales of the Mob and Spirit World.
Yeah, I've got Tales of the Mob, yeah.
It's amazing what was going on. I saw on Facebook, I shared it the other day, that there was a Conan paper strip.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that, and that Buscema was doing it.
Buscema did it for a while. Ernie Chua did it for a while as well.
Yeah. How do these people find the time?
Yeah.
Well, when you get an opportunity to do a comic strip, even back when they did it, it paid a lot better than a comic.
Well, yeah,
book,
I mean,
you know?
I
They find it-
understand that attitude. Obviously, you say yes to everything, but still, it's just such a
I know.
volume work.
I know how they found the time. They didn't have an undo button. They just got it right.
There you go. That too.
That's
Such a hard contrast, no background here, and then all of this detail back here.
This is what I'm saying, yeah, about those panels look like they've been.
Yeah.
And look at the guy, the side view guy. Look at the background; it's just some sort of shapes.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a side view down the bottom left there, and you've got a similar one top right on the left hand page. And look at the care and attention that's gone into that, and what seemingly no care and attention into the bottom left. It just those two panels stand out.
Such crazy detail up in here. It's beautiful. Look deep into my eyes.
He loves that shot, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah,
It's a great filler shot.
that shot there, with the eyes could be Odin, Dark Side,
Galactus,
Orion, Galactic. Yeah, anybody can.
Any of the above.
Yeah.
Yet he knew not to stay stagnant, so he put it on the angle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the things that he got, the things that he did with storytelling that were just instinctual by the looks of it.
Yeah, at this point especially. Yeah.
People take lessons and look into, how is this the best way to do this, and how do I keep my energy in a flow, and how do I keep the story going? And this guy was just, it was just totally instinctual.
Yeah.
That's a big hand.
Mm.
It's just weirdly, occasionally, some digital lettering shows up.
That's not digital. That's done by hand.
There was also one where he said death a couple of pages back. That
was hand.
That did not look like it was done by hand.
Oh, yeah. You can tell. Look at the bottom of the A's here. It's all done by hand. Just Mike Royer being the professional is what that is.
But they stand out. They're just weird.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Tiger here.
You go back a couple of pages. Don't know. Go on, keep going. I'll tell you when. There.
That's by hand.
That's bonkers.
No, it's hand. That's hand drawn.
Right.
Oh, I think it's digital.
But the bubbles, like,
that's in the wrong.
That is just really wonky.
Yeah.
Well, again, the bubble was probably put in by Kirby and not corrected because it wasn't inked.
Yeah.
No.
That's just weird typography. After very odd. Very odd. It stood out to me anyway.
Again, Royer having.
Check his legs out. Look at that. Yeah. I got big bendy legs.
Look at the detail in the buildings.
He's standing on them too, man. He's standing
and
the traffic lights.
The traffic lights. Yeah.
Wow.
He's getting into Shikadash there. He's just getting himself down in or Kibadash, getting down in a horse riding stance, getting ready.
So that's a sign.
Perform some kata.
Like we talked about before, you have to know how to draw in order to strip away down to your style. This is so beautiful here, This whole signpost is just amazing.
Bonkers.
Such detail just in shadow and sets of blacks. It's just great.
I guess if you were that large, you would want to stand, on the elevated ground rather than getting your ankle caught between the buildings.
Yeah. Stub your toe.
Is that guy on the previous page the guy who works for J. Jonah Jameson?
Which one?
The black guy in the middle.
What's his name?
What's he called?
Robinson.
Robinson, yeah.
Robbie Robinson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie Robinson. Oh, leave Peter alone, Jay. Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
6, 9, 12, 14
This is lovely.
panels on a page.
Yeah, that page.
Yeah,
That page with all the panels has gone into Hunger Dogs mode.
Yeah.
love the wide panel.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The one above it with the face. Yeah,
Looks
that's
like-
just
almost
such a
looks like Kirby.
solid object. His head is so solid.
It looks like a statue, a
Yeah.
bust, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he does the next panel and it's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funky.
Yeah.
He's got a goofy expression on his face. He's
Yeah.
making hand signals. Gang signs.
Yeah.
Work up, friend. Want to see a great trick? Pull my finger. Pull my finger.
It's not the exploding man. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. The buildings going past so fast. That's just...
Yeah.
He likes drawing those panels where people are running away from what's going on, doesn't he? He always has a face turn, at least one face turn towards the viewer.
Yeah.
You know? He likes
Yeah.
doing that. There's that big hand again with a big wrist. Or a little
Yeah.
hand with a little
Bent
big
in a really...
hand.
He's obviously a double jointed wrist there. That's
Yeah.
really weird.
Stick wrist.
Where he's picking the top right, where he's picking the thing out. Picking
Yeah.
the top right. Top right.
Let me take a look at your tits. Anyway,
Where he's taking
Flesh. Flesh Gordon. No.
the thing out
Anyway.
of the road, the manhole cover.
Yeah.
And his arm is straight, but his hands coming towards the camera. So the anatomy on that is really wonky.
Yeah.
But the style just overtakes everything.
There'd be a lot more arm in here. Yeah.
Well, the arm would be coming towards you. It's,
Yeah.
The positions are correct. It's just the anatomy that's incorrect. So the actual forearm would be coming towards you. So you'd only see that much of it. But the point
Yeah.
being is that it's straight down.
And
a bit-
it's odd that somebody who was so in touch with foreshortening would draw it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, the style just takes over, and you know exactly what's going on. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Look at those lovely thick lines in the arm for the muscle as well.
Yeah. Again,
Really
really
powerful.
weird, but yeah, powerful. Yeah. That really is Dark Side.
It is, yeah. The world according to Drum.
The topography on that's all done by hand too. Beautiful.
How much we got
But
left?
The unevenness in his face. Not
Yeah,
enough
well,
for
it's
another
really
episode.
wonky, isn't it?
Yeah. not
Because
not enough for
we're at
another
10
episode.
too. No.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. It's really something, isn't it?
That cover in pencil. God.
Isn't that great? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, the folds and
That's amazing, isn't it?
just beautiful.
Wish they could be side by side so you compare the two.
I don't think that was ever inked.
It
This
was
is-
just before.
In
isn't
my
it?
opinion, that's better than 3/4 of the covers he did for Marvel during the 70s.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Go back one page.
Yeah, go back one page just to look at the ink.
Oh yeah, there it is.
No, it's definitely nicer in pencil.
It is. Yeah.
And it's not like it's not nice in ink. It is, but it's definitely nicer in the pencil.
This looks like it was hand done too.
Mm.
That's not the way they would have done that.
No wonder he gets
Yeah.
mad at the inkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great inker over him, and you can see that something's been lost. So
Yeah.
you imagine a crap inker over the top of him.
P. Bruce Perry, inked and lettered. Oh, that's not Royer.
No.
Oh, you can
Okay.
definitely tell. Yeah.
Berry's work on Kirby, I think is the wrong ink for Kirby, because if you look at Hunger Dogs, when he shared the inking with Royer, his Bruce's line it's almost like a Coletta line, really what I call a European line,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work as well as Coletta's line does, in my opinion. It's good, but it's not as good as it might be.
That's funny because when I look at Coletta's work, the last thing I think of is European.
Right. I'm just talking about the thin line.
Yeah.
Not the style.
It's just horrible, scratchy. Crow quill.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Van.
Yeah, that's odd. It's like a
Without
train.
reference. Yeah, it's like a train. You can tell where I'm sure that was done without photo reference either.
Yeah.
The entire stoop back there. Yeah. Just drawn in real quick.
I can remember, you see the staircase up to the tenement building there?
Mm-hmm.
I can remember as far as I might have seen it on the TV, I suppose, before, but I remember seeing that for the first time when I watched The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Because I used to wonder if that's what New York was like with those steps, and it is, but I was only 10.
Whenever I see that kind of tenement staircase like that, I think of Sesame Street.
Right.
Yeah.
There's Oscar's home right there.
Well, they call them brownstones.
Yeah.
Comics by Night was brought to you by the letters Z and V and the numbers 6.
It was a disaster. Yeah. Boom.
Oh, look at that. Wow. It's so full. That page is so full.
Yeah.
And
There's
yet
been a lot
it's
of that
not,
in this. Yeah.
Look at
it's his artwork it's not full of render.
no.
It's crazy.
It's just full. It's
Look at the guy at the very bottom of that big page and tell me who that is. In the middle.
very bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there. This guy at the
There.
bottom. At the bottom.
Who's that?
That guy?
Him.
Yeah, it's dark side, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
With his-
with his things. With his
There was
funny head.
there was a poll on Find My Comic recently about rendering, whether you put too much rendering or too little, or like in the preferences there. And I think the highest vote was somewhere in between. But what are your thoughts on render? I particularly don't like it when it's just crazy rendering.
Yeah, I don't like over-rendered work. I think the trouble is there's a lot of artists, and I'll include myself in this, you naively look at artwork and think that it's mega detailed. And in actual fact, it's not. All the lines are where they should be.
Yeah.
Overly done at all. It's just well done. So if you look at some of Jim Lee's work, for instance, you could say, oh yeah, but look at that. It's like over-rendered. It's like, no, it's just put in the right place. If you look at Brian Bolland's work, you could easily be fooled into thinking it's hyper detailed, but it's not. The lines are just put in the right place. And that's what I find with all the greats, all the true genius material artists are those that give the impression of detail, but are simply using the space and the lines in the appropriate way. And I think a lot of artists get confused. I put myself in that group because I did as well. It took me a long time to appreciate that the things I was thinking were detail were simply well produced and well placed lines.
I love how this looks so animated to me.
Yeah.
That face especially is just great. Sorry, Whiskey, didn't mean to step on you there.
It's okay. It's just I was saying that simplicity is the better part of valor.
Yeah. Well, exactly what you were saying about Toth being able to take out the stuff. and create like we said before, impressionism. It's creating that world. It's creating an impression of that world, but bringing the reader along with you, convincing them, sucking them in. But at the same time, these are comic books, and although it's not quite the same way now, it certainly used to be the case. They were pulp. You had to get them out within a period of time, so there were certain shortcuts that were built into the art form that are now intrinsically part of that art form as an art form, rather than for the use of being shortcuts to get stuff done in time. So it's funny how these things develop, but I think the best art is where people know what to leave out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for that period too, because that's where really your individual style pops out of. You look at people like Robbins and Lee Elias and Jim Aparo is another great example where they're on such a hard deadline, but they're drawing so incredibly competently that their style is just.
Well, you can look at Wrightson. You could say, I'm going to use Wrightson as a counter to your argument, Russ. But I would argue that Wrightson, you look at his work, and it's rendered, it's a highly rendered, highly worked on, but there isn't a line out of place.
No,
exactly nothing is there that isn't used. Nothing is there without a purpose, and that's the point. How much of that you use is up to you as to how quickly you want to produce the work. But there's nothing that isn't there without a purpose.
Yeah.
We looked at Mike. I can never pronounce his name. Mike
Mignola.
Minola.
His work.
Yeah,
he's a great example of economy of line, but he also uses economy of color too.
Yes.
His colors. Whoever does the colors in so much of his work, I mean, especially the Hellboy stuff, is just brilliant.
Yeah, because he's not crazy on the rendering either. He just kind of just does it.
Yeah. Well, that's I would liken him. I would push him more towards the Kirby end of the scale. I think that's the kind of feel he embodies.
Sometime really soon, we'll take a look at his Fafford and Gray Mouser material.
Just quickly,
some great stuff.
Just quickly go back a page and look at the left-hand page. It's like it's been produced before he's decided to do any blacks on it. It's almost like a layout on the left-hand side, apart from the fact that the girls turned into Commandy.
Some of this is rougher than others, yeah.
Jack must have had a flashback. Forgot.
We need to get Gil Kane in to draw this woman.
Yeah. It's still very good though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure
I'd like to have seen that in pencil. Again, he's not spotted the blacks, has he?
No.
Or so much.
Should we stop or speed up?
I think we should stop.
All right.
Because we don't want to be able to. We can always pop something else in, can't we? Giggity.
Yeah, it's getting really good again, isn't it? It's picked up a bit. It went off a bit.
Yeah, it's picked up a
back.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, let's save it for.
So I've got an artisan.
There's not really. Yeah.
Oh, there is. It's the same as we've just been through. We could just take it slow. We can chat. We can talk crap.
Talk crap. All right. Let's stop there then.
So what we were talking, I've got an artisan Hellboy, actually, with big black and whites, and we should go through that at some point.
Oh yeah. I'm looking through it now. Yeah, we definitely need to. Yeah. Okay. No problem. We'll wait.
Just for your information, guys, his name is Mignola.
Mignola?
To silence a Y on the G, that's like sort of a Spanish thing. Mignola, yeah.
All right, I'll mark it. We'll start a little farther back at that great cover.
Yeah, that's good call.
All right.
Can never get enough Kirby.
No.
Speaking of not getting enough Kirby, this Sunday. We're going to be going through a little bit of Captain Victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got
Look
the
at
first
those
4
guns. Look at those guns. You can watch this everywhere but in California. There you go.
Forces from the Star Worlds clash on Earth. There we are. Defense of our galaxy. So stop back in Sunday Funnies, 9 a.m. This Sunday. Hopefully my voice will be better. And now we'll go over them Captain Victories. So, Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on here on Friday and with Brandy on Sunday and the other fellas. And you can find all my work on Amazon. You can get a copy of this from New Haven Press if you want it, or New Haven Publishing. Sorry, get this from Barnes and Noble on order. You can find me in the pages of my magazine Comics Unlimited, which they don't know it yet, but Russ and Randy are going to feature heavily in the next issue, and whether they like it or not. And if you go to From My Comic, you can get this annotated volume about my character Hatch, which shows published and unpublished artwork and how he came to be. And yeah, that's about it. And you can find me all over social media. Just put my name in Google or Amazon, you'll see what I do.
Ooh. It's my turn now.
You.
Find about me at russleach.com. Please sign up for the email list there. There's a newsletter once a month, so I won't fill your inbox up. But you can find out more about the Shadow Kingdom, which is going to be launched on Fund My Comic in March. Obviously, all my other stuff there as well over at russleach.com.
I was talking. I was just muted. That's all. Is there a DVD also? For what, HR?
There is for my Jack Kirby book, yeah.
Yeah, for the book, yeah.
Get that from me.
HR also says minimalism, airy, clean, one line too much makes it heavy and balanced.
You can
balanced to find. Yep.
See the final cover for that. There you go. There's the inked version.
Get that. Lovely.
It's going to be such a great product.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that happen now.
I'll put his blue tights on this time.
Whiskey, tell folks how they can find you.
Sure, you can find me on the old X there in the bottom left, Banner and Ricochet. And when you do that, if you put that into Google, this page here should come up. If I can fix that. Just a sec.
All right.
Hang on.
You go.
Got it. All right.
Almost got it. No, I don't got it. Anyways, that comes up. You might see some of the art there. If you click on the link at the top, some art will show up. That's what I do.
Nice.
There we are. Yeah.
Oh,
looking good.
Yeah, so yeah, just find that and you can message me if you ever need anything made.
All right.
Cool.
And folks, I've been your host, the horse, Randy Zimmerman, even though I spelt my name wrong there. Look at that. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store.
Randy, you need an editor.
I just need thinner fingers. That's what I need. Folks, we deeply appreciate you being here. We love showing this stuff off and bringing it to you because this is the stuff that we love. This art form is such a fantastic art form. There we are. Poof. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store, where you can find books like Herobot Zero, Calico, Paragon, The Fool. There's a lot more coming. So keep an eye out over there at aerocomics.store. We'll have some announcements here within the upcoming weeks of some more products for you to be able to get there at the store. A lot more coming, a lot more news from Aero Comics coming this year. So deeply appreciate you being here. Make sure you swing by on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. for Sunday Funnies, where we'll be looking at Captain Victory. There we are right there. We'll look at Captain Victory some more. Sunday Funnies, 9 a.m. We'll be back here again, Comics by Night, 5 a.m. on Fridays, Eastern time. Of course, that Sunday Funnies, 9 a.m. is Eastern as well. We'll look at some more Silver Star next week and maybe some other unusual Kirby material. We'll see what I can find. I was looking for that trading card set. I haven't quite found it yet. On our way out the door, we want to remind you of the classic quote by one Mr. Groucho Marx. It says, outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read.
Yeah.
Enough said.
A command of the language. Yeah.
If you get a chance, hit that like button wherever, whatever format you're watching us or whatever platform you're watching us at. We know the majority of our viewership comes after the show, and we deeply, deeply appreciate you stopping by. I hope you are enjoying this content as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. And if you do, tell your friends. Our numbers are slowly growing. We are archived over at the Indie Comics Network on YouTube, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, the Comic Book Black Belt channel, the Bayonet and Ricochet Rumble channel. You can find us archived over there in a lot of places. So wherever you find us, however you find us, we deeply appreciate you being here. So any other buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours, please try to leave this industry in better shape than what you found it. You know, there's too much trolling and drama going on.
The drama
seems to be rolling like crap downhill and anymore. And we don't need that. We need more good comics. We need more great work by more viewpoints from as many different and diverse people as possible. And we just need it at a level of quality where we're entertaining people instead of preaching at them.
Mm.
So in the end, folks, take care. Deeply appreciate, again, you being here. Wait a minute, Dennis. Dennis is out in the wild. He sees something.
That is a golden-cheeked warbler. I've been missing that one. Check. Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
Take care, everybody.
See you.
I love referring to himself in the third person. That's so Trump.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Once more, by popular demand.
That is a golden-cheeked warbler. I've been missing that one. Check. Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
Go to the biscuit.
Take care, everybody.
See
you on Sunday.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.